Hi everyone, welcome to the IAMAI podcast. Today is the second episode of my conversation with the IT Secretary, Mr. Krishnan.
So that brings me to my second bucket of questions, which is around the startup ecosystem in India, and how have you seen it grow over the years, and if any, if government plans for making ease of doing business improve for them.
I think,
We want to stick to specifically digital startups, sir.
no, I understand what you mean. See, there are two sets of startups, and digital startups are clearly the ones that have really succeeded. But, and what they have basically done is eased out the way that people access services. And I think the messaging from the government has been fairly clear. The messaging from the Competition Commission has been fairly clear that their access into app stores and their access into ways in which they can actually distribute their services needs to improve. And the terms on which they access also need to be improved. And I think that is a space in which considerable work has happened and things have looked up and improved. Having said that, I think it's also important at this point in time because this is a space where, continuous small improvements keep happening. And what we see is an interest which is sort of flipping from the regular just digital, the platform or a model of providing a service. It's changed to more deep tech applications. And, with the onset of AI, with the onset of blockchain, a lot more of that is coming into emphasis. So I think that's a positive development because what it means is that more products can actually be developed. It's not just the channels through which there's outreach, but there could be Indian products itself through the deep tech process. So I think what you are actually seeing is a maturation, and that's a good thing, and which we need to encourage on an ongoing basis.
I would also wish you to touch on a little bit on the investment climate, and we hear a lot of stories that investments have dried out and all of that. Generally, and investments specifically in form of venture funds, which were like easily available till 2 years back, are becoming to people.
I think a lot of this is global. I mean, the global circumstances are such that, the uncertainties globally have grown significantly. I don't think many of those are driven by policy in India, definitely. I think if they're driven by policy, it is driven by policy in other jurisdictions, not India. So part of it is a global phenomenon. But again, at the same time, I would say that in sensible or in areas which really matter to us, we don't really see the investment dry up. In deep tech spaces, we find that we've been having investments coming into that area. Likewise, in the entire electronic space, there have been substantial investments coming up. I think the market is also waiting and sitting it out to figure out what is going to happen with the way that AI applications are rolled out in order for them to be able to figure out how those investments will be made. So I think
So broadly, what is a little shift?
it's a bit of a shift. It's a bit of a shift in perception, and it's the uncertainty around the world which is fueling this. A lot of geopolitical factors.